What up, people? Welcome to Social Moments. This episode, we are still on the Kizz issue. He's still in Tanzania. Like, he's being held there to account for what he did. And there are still new details coming out about the whole fracas, and it's interesting. If you are new here, click on the subscribe button, click on the bell, and click on all. Thank you. Shout outs to Kwejuama, Christ Hatiyin, and all the other new subscribers. Thanks for joining the team. I hope you enjoy your stay. You know, in my previous video, if you watched it, if you haven't watched it, I recommend you watching it after watching this one, or maybe watch it and then come back later and watch this one, so everything will be in gradual process and make sense. I was a little sympathetic in that previous video because, you know, previous days before the Tanzanian show, he performed in Uganda. And, you know, Africa we day, flights and all of that, and getting from point A to point B, the stress involved, having a hectic performance in a different country and coming to a different country. Maybe he was exhausted, you know, maybe he got there late. And I wanted to rest a little before, you know, performing in a different show, you know, so I was giving him the benefit of the doubt and all of that. But the show organizers have come out to speak, and it's appalling what he did. So the show organizer has come out to speak in an Instagram live. He revealed he spent $300,000 on that show. 300 grand, people, only for Kizz to show up and start acting like a diva. 300,000, Jesus. Which I imagine more than half of it will probably go to Kizz, and the other was for the setup of the event. 300,000, and he billed on them. And here's the reason. The reason why he did that is shocking. He, according to the show organizer, if we are to take what he said as facts, Kizz refused to perform because one of his luggage hadn't arrived from Uganda to Tanzania. And so his entire reason for not performing on that night, according to the organizer of the show, who spent $300,000 putting all of the show together, who is basically in tears as he was even speaking, is that Kizz forgot his chain. His chain. Apparently, I don't know, a gold chain or something. He left it in a luggage, and the luggage was still stuck in Uganda. It hadn't arrived in Tanzania yet, and he refused to perform, to give a show to these people, a show he was being paid for, a 300,000 show organized for him, a show that was selling tables at $5,000 and $10,000. A show he signed a contract on, agreed to perform. He disagreed to perform because he left his chain in a bag, in a luggage that was stuck in Tanzania, that was stuck in Uganda and was yet to arrive. So I was like, but this chain, I mean, what is chain? And the thing is, he was already wearing a chain. He was already wearing a chain, one chain safe. But apparently it wasn't enough. That chain wasn't enough. He needed his special chain to attach before he performs.
See, this is my lawyer. This is the police station right now.
Oh, wow. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, when I finish, I'll drop you a direct message.
Okay, please. Let me have this. How long do you think it will take us? People are actually waiting in line. If you can give us 5
Probably
minutes.
probably 1 hour. He's been locked up there, and he's still at the station now. He's still here.
Oh, wow. Is there anything you can share with us now? Maybe for 2 minutes, then we'll come back and give us.
Yeah, I will give you. I don't know how to give.
Wondering what's going on.
He only said the airline didn't bring his bag. That is why he cannot perform, because his gold chain is not there, and he had a gold chain on his neck. He wanted everything. Harmonize came. I brought in different clothes.
Then your name is what?
Old house. Next door arena. Next door. You understand? Wow. So he said just because his bag was airline didn't bring one of his bag, he cannot perform without his gold on his neck.
Wow.
That show I spent nothing less than $300,000 on that show, because the show was a premium show. I will send you the video of that show. You see, that show wasn't joke. The table for that show was set for $5,000, and the highest table was set for $10,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
So because he didn't have his chain, that is why he didn't perform. Oh my
My
God.
company is new here. My company is new, and I have an
Nigerian
event
or
app.
Tanzanian?
I'm in Nigeria.
Okay, okay. Please, what is your name, sir?
My name is Stephen Owa.
Stephen Uwa. Okay,
Yeah.
brother. Okay,
Stephen
brother.
Owa. Ojehudu. This is the show. Everything. I have all the contract with Polo. Polo is the one who I booked Kizz directly from. Polo cried all night trying to beg this guy, please go to this show. Polo cried. Calling from America. Polo cried. Polo cried.
All right. Let me let you handle what is going on in the police station. If you have any updates, would like to.
Now, would one be wrong for saying this chain is juju or something? Because with this attitude, one can even speculate that there's something in the chain, you know, a little razzle dazzle, a little juju here and there. I mean, if this was his first time doing this, and I'll be inclined to, you know, take my mind into that direction, but I actually do not believe it. And I think he's just him being a diva, because this is not the first time he's done that. Like, people have come out and give accounts to him years ago, and I sat here barely a month ago and I made a video. He did it in the United States too, and it goes as far back as years ago when he started doing music and started becoming successful and being known. And yo, what is going on here? So I jumped into the comments, right? And people were as stumped as I was, because this is just ridiculous and a hard pill to swallow. It's just unbelievable. So Mazi Chukwuemeka says, Shay una know as that chain take the importance a bit. When I want make he enter stage, begin sing anyhow song for una. Or maybe without that chain, Baba no fit perform. The chain, for my understanding, is not just for fashion's sake. There's more to that chain, but he's supposed correct shot. I mean, see where people's mentality are going now. And I mean, can you blame them? Really, can anybody blame people for thinking like this? But though I'm curious though, did he have that chain on during his USA performance? Because if he had it on, then obviously that special chain did nothing for him, because the people who went to the show said it was terrible. By the way, you can watch that video about the USA performance in the link. I'll leave a link in the description so you can watch later. People said it was terrible. But he performed, which means he had that chain, because according to what we are seeing now, if he didn't have that chain, he wouldn't have performed, just like he refused to perform in Tanzania, or maybe because he was in the United States and he knows they have strict laws there, and he was comporting himself a little bit, because Africans, we do have that attitude about us. People who disobey laws in their homeland and go out there in US and Europe and act right. So maybe System at Don Elvis says, God has clearly lifted this guy up, but his pride won't let him stay there. Which one be say he won't perform because of chain? Madness. And Miriam says, how old is this guy, because he's behaving like a teenager? How can you refuse to perform because of a neck chain? And there's this type of diva attitude that kills careers. It really is. These are the things they get away with in Nigeria. No matter how good you are, attitude is important to succeed. Absolutely. Aremu Baba Arike says, what stopped him from performing just in his underwears? Why would someone in his right senses refuse to perform after flying all the way because of a chain? Really? I just hope there's different side to the story, because this sounds very ridiculous. It really does. Josephine says, because everything goes on in Nigeria, you carry that rather character to another man's country. That Buga song has really entered his head. No matter how genuine his reasons are, he did not show up. There are consequences to every action. Taiwo says, if you can't be taught in Nigeria, you will be taught in other countries. Man, I almost cried. Gold chain, na footwear. Make him pay all the damages and tender a public apology on national TV there in Tanzania. Peter says, if person go say that chain might be his secret power, now you go come the like say person they do superstition. What sort of mumu chain will make you ruin another man's effort this way? Basharon says they do these things in Nigeria and they get away with them without even the organizers getting a refund. We need to start learning from these other African countries for real. The earlier we realize these guys aren't anything without their fans, is the better. And Econ Living says, Kizz really has attitude and pride issues for real. Seeing comments under this post show this is not even the first or third time. Sadly, it is not. Big Papi says, very smelly character, wicked person. Them even cry beg you on top their own money. Chain, away them they take tie dog, na him be your reason. And somebody replies, you know whether an anointed chain where him Baba don't anoint for arm. You know whether without the chain, the Buga spirit will not come down. Well, just thinking out loud. It gets you thinking, really, it does. Arbitrary says, this is a sight of irresponsibility and a disrespect to drag Nigerian name to the mud for Kizz. These people do not deserve greatness. Why can't he be human for just once? How many hours would he perform at Kizz? This is disgraceful and embarrassing. Dave says, somehow I blame Kizz. The excuse wasn't enough for him to stay back. I mean, somehow, who else is to be blamed for this? Zaddy says, nice to see Nigerian calling him out. No one is standing that rubbish behavior. And Leo says, same way he refused to perform in Babcock University cause they came to pick him from his hotel with a Prado Land Cruiser instead of a Mercedes SUV. Now this attitude there, even Michael Jackson would do this attitude though. Irunia says, I remember talking about this earlier and his fans told me to shut up. This is not the first time he's effing up this year. Some people invest a lot of money into this. The guy is talented, but talent is not always enough. Make person advise him. Oh, seriously, I mean, Unwavering says, trust Nigerians with their bias. This is the reason why this country will never be better. Not with this kind of mentality, you can support someone and still be objective. But for Nigerians, never. Worse is this said person don't even know them. Such a cultic mentality. I mean, his fan base can be pretty problematic. They would do anything but hold their favorites, their stand, and then stress along with this thing from politicians, from musicians to politicians to everything when it comes to this West Africa or continent. Ghanaians and Nigeria, particular about these things, you can show them pictorial evidence, video evidence of their favorites screwing up, and you know what they are gonna do? They are gonna blame you for just merely pointing out the facts of the matter and not their favorites for messing up. There's a crappy attitude from fans. They think it means they are the ones who love this person the most or who support that person the most. But keep up that attitude and soon enough, nobody's going to care for your favorites anymore if they keep up this attitude. But Kizz has responded in a press sort of interview, a press conference. He has responded because it be like these Tanzania people are holding him hostage in their country. And until he lives up to the show, the money that was paid him, the contract he signed, they are not letting him out of their sight. So a show has been slated for Friday, which is August 12th, this very Friday, and he's gonna have to, perform before he gets to leave the country. This is how he explained his side of the story. A little different from what the show organizer said, but still it has something to do with luggage and stuff because according to him, he came from Uganda right from the clothes he was wearing to perform, and he was drenched. And so. Let's go listen to him.
By 3 a.m. in the morning. So I worked with them on that and said, okay, no problem. I'll compromise. We can let go. Make the show happen. So we left the airport. We got to the hotel at around 1:30 in the morning. Yeah, we got to the hotel at around 1:30 in the morning. Yeah. You good, bro?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So so I sent my band to the venue, get of course to get everything settled for the performance, to do the sound check. Although I was supposed to be there, because that's how I do my sound check. There are videos of me doing my sound check in Uganda. It was me, my band, and some of the fans. We had fun. It was good. So I said, okay, fine. I'll stay back because I realized that the fans were already at the venue. Like thousands of the fans were there already waiting for me to perform, waiting for me to get on stage. So it wouldn't be advisable for me to go down there to do the sound check. So I sent the band over to make sure, okay, let's see what we can do. Let's see what we can do with the available setup. Unfortunately, they were rushed off the stage because the fans already are supposed to be in the venue. So the band came back with the bad news to the hotel. No problem, the show must go on. We contacted a couple of stylists here in Tanzania, because, of course, I left Uganda like in the morning, like 6 in the morning, and I was drenched already. Yeah, like I was drenched already. What I was wearing a pair of slides, my shorts, and agbada, you know. Yeah, yeah. So I was drenched, and I needed to freshen up at least, you know, to be able to put up a great show for the Tanzanian people. So we got a couple of stylists. We were doing the fitting back at the hotel, and then coupled up with that.
So, you know, after all of these things, if he comes out of this thing and it teaches him nothing, I don't think there's any hope for him. And if you're a show organizer and you choose to, you know, book him for your show, if he doesn't learn from this whole USA and Tanzania things in a space of 1 month, and you still choose to organize a show for him, now your own problem, oh, now your own problem. Leave a comment, like this video, subscribe, catch you later. Arbitrary says, this is height of official. Arbitrary says, this is height of, wait a minute.